Hi, hello, I'm Bun Bun. Nice to meet you. And if you're not new around here, welcome back, Crew Love. Today we're drinking matcha milk tea. I don't know if I can you see it? Delightful. So I am a hardcore Twilight stan. I'm a Twihard. Okay, I get it. I know people hate Twilight, and I honestly understand. I do. Because it has many faults. So I get it. But for me, it's like this beautiful disaster. It is this succulent mess. It is
like my own personal brand of heroin.
It is trash beyond measure with a background of brilliance. And by brilliance, I mean like shiny. It sparkles. It dang, you know, it just panchak. So we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to break down. I think I'll break down the series itself whilst breaking down each character. And I'm going to start with my fave. My ace boon coon, my bitch, Rosalie Hale. Now, Rose doesn't get the respect that she deserves, and we're going to start right there. Because the thing about it is everybody has Rosalie f***ed up. You do, because you're not looking at it with sense. That's why I'm here. I'm going to help us all see Queen Rose for who she really is. And we're going to start at her introduction. Now, Rosalie and Edward are siblings to the fullest extent, in my opinion, which is they're there for each other, they love each other, but they don't always get along. And if you ask me, I think it's Edward's fault. And here's where we're gonna get into it. Here's where we're gonna begin. When Carlisle found Rosalie, she was dying because her fiance and his friends had just R'd her and left her for dead. Okay? I'll say it again. When Carlisle found Rosalie in like an alley somewhere, dying because her fiance and his friends had just gang R'd her and left her for dead. So as it goes, when you are changed in Twilight, apparently whatever mental state you were in, your age, so I think she was 18, 17, 18, 19, somewhere between there. As well as having just experienced this very, very traumatic thing. That's how she stays. So that's great. We're already just going into life forever staying a 17, 18, 19-year-old. Let me check how old she is real quick. 18. She was 18. So she's 18 years old, freshly assaulted by the person that she loved and his friends. And that's how she's starting her immortal life, with all of that trauma. Because you keep that, whatever your mental state is where you stay. So people are like, oh my god, Rosalie is such a bitch, she's so mean, da 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 da. Yeah. Because what she went through getting there. All right, so boom. In Midnight Sun, Edward tells us that as soon as Rosalie walked in the door, as soon as she hit that front door, he read her mind, and he was like,
I don't like where this is going.
so that is their meeting. I don't know if Carlisle explained to her, like, hey, we're a band of immortals, me and my son, and I thought that you could be like a good mate to him, the way that, I think Esme was already there. So I think it was Carlisle, Edward, Esme, and then Rose. So he was like, hey, I have my wife, my son is immortal, I want him to have a partner too, and I thought that, maybe that could be you. Which Carlisle, Rosalie's choices are just being taken from her left and right, Again, she was just Ard and left for dead. So that choice was taken from her, as well as you turned her into an immortal for the purpose of being a mate to your son, Edward. I'm sure she was thrilled.
What are you doing?
But she was like, damn, I am so freaking gorgeous. I am beauty incarnate. I am that girl. You know what? Let's just see what this life is gonna be like. Let's just get into it. I'm a roll with the punches on this one. So she does. She hits that front door, and immediately she's thinking, I'm so beautiful. There's no way this guy is gonna reject me. We're all just gonna be a happy family, and that's gonna be that. And immediately Edward was like,
Not on my watch. Not on my watch.
I don't like your attitude. You think you're so cute, and despite the fact that you are indeed very drop-dead gorgeous, I don't like that you think that. So now it's fuck you for life. And for life, and since we're immortal, it's like forever. It's fuck you forever. We're never gonna be cool because you think you're pretty, and despite the fact that you are in fact pretty, I don't like the fact that you think that you're pretty. So no, we're just not gonna be cool. Mind you, Rosalie hasn't even said hi yet. This is her walking in the door. Edward reads her mind of her thinking, I'm so pretty, I'm so gorgeous, and he's like, yuck, nope, don't want that. Don't like it. They haven't even exchanged words yet. So then she introduces herself. Hi, I'm Rosalie. I guess I'm supposed to like be part of the family and be your mate. And Edward was like, yeah, I hate you. Get away from me. And Rose is like, okay, this is a great start. This is my life. Here we are. So then I think the book goes on to say that they didn't really find each other like attracted to each other in that way. They were good with being family members and being siblings, but he wasn't attracted to her because he can read her mind and he doesn't like how vain she is. And then she isn't attracted to him because dude's an asshole. Dude's an asshole. Just immediately, before she even could fully introduce herself, he was acting stank. So that's our start. That's our premise. That is the beginning. Moving left and right along, they go through however many years until she finds Emmett. I don't know how long they were a family unit until Emmett got there. several years, however long, and it's just the two of them not liking each other, bickering because Edward arrived with stank energy. So she gave that energy back to him. Okay? Now let's think about it. No, let's put a pin in that. Oh, just a pin. Imagine it's you, okay? And you're getting ready to become a part of a family unit with somebody. You know, you have to start all over. Everything's brand new. This is all you know. This is all you have. Okay? And immediately you walk in the door, you see the person that you're supposed to be mated with. And they just immediately, I hate your guts. You're the scum between my toes. You suck. I mean, it's not like a great first impression. You know what I mean? Mind you, you haven't even said anything yet. You've simply walked in the house. You don't know that this person can read minds. And let's think, so then people will be like, oh, well, she's so vain to think that she's so pretty and thinking this way all the time. Okay, you don't have thoughts? Imagine if someone just could read your mind. Would they always think that, oh my gosh, this person, they're just so altruistic and selfless, and they don't have a single vain thought or a selfish thought or a single ill thought in their head. They are just the perfect being. No, because the perfect being doesn't exist. So, him judging her based off of that, which, according to the books, Rosalie was supposed to be, like, that's her power, which is, let's pull over. That's so lame. It really is, because vampires in general in the Twilight universe are supposed to be just heart-stoppingly beautiful. I mean, just the most immaculate beings that you can picture. So someone having the power of beauty just seems like, okay, but they're all beautiful. So would anyone really look at Rosalie and be like, wow, this is a really good group, a really good looking group of people, but this one in particular just stands out, just like it tastes more? I don't know. It just seems, it just seems kind of like a throwaway. Like, oh, her only power is being so beautiful. Like, Stephanie says, you played my girl. You did. She could have had the power of like persuasion or like super charm or I don't know, anything. But you were just like, yeah, she looks good. Bitch is beautiful. So anyway. Then in Twilight, we only ever get the perspective from Edward, because he's the one that knows, because Bella, okay, so Twilight is from Bella's perspective, right? Okay, got it. But she doesn't know the Cullens. She doesn't know Rosalie like that. So anytime we get things about Rosalie, it's from Edward's perspective. You following me here? Okay. So we only ever get the perspective of Rosalie from someone, Edward, who hates her. Okay, so the representation is already inaccurate. It's already skewed. You know what I mean? Because, again, I want you to put yourself in these shoes. Let's say, think of someone that doesn't see it for you. You don't really see it for them. They don't really see it from you. And so when this person is out here talking about you and telling the world about you, are they putting you in the best light? And is it true? So then when you find out about Rose's situation and she has a candid moment with Bella, because Bella's like, I don't know why you hate me so much. I've never done anything to you, sis. Like, what is all this animosity? And Rose is definitely projecting because she says this isn't a life that I would have chosen for myself. Rose wanted to live the life that she wanted. You know, she wanted to get married. She wanted to have kids. She wanted to grow old with her husband, watch her grandkids playing on the veranda, that sort of thing. And that was taken from her in the most brutal way possible. So she longs for the life that she wanted. The life that could have been. She didn't get that. And so she sees Bella, a human girl that can have all that, and is choosing instead to be a vampire. So that irks Rosalie. Now, is it her place to put that on Bella? No, it's not. It's just projection. But again, she's an 18-year-old stuck in an 18-year-old. I think it says she's 71 years old. Okay, right. But she doesn't have the mentality of a 71-year-old person. Someone that's lived and understands maturity and things like that. She is forever 18 years old, living with the trauma of how she passed and then was turned. Okay. So yeah, she is taking all of that and projecting it on Bella. I get it. It's wrong, but she's stuck. She literally cannot get past that. So she's seeing somebody that has the potential to live the life that she wanted, and she just doesn't see it for this girl. Now, mind you, she was never mean to Bella. She never called her outside her name. She never threw shade at her directly. She never did anything to this girl, really. She just didn't. She wasn't buddy-buddy. You know, everybody else in the Cullen family loves Bella and wants to be best friends. And, oh my God, you're my sister now. You're the love of my life. You're my daughter, and all this and that. And everybody just absolutely loved this chick. And Rosalie just kind of paid her dust. She was just like, yeah, okay. And again, y'all don't have people that you don't just kind of pay dust to, that you're just like, okay, well, I don't really see it for sis, but like, am I gonna go out of my way and be mean to her? No. Am I call her outside of her name? No. Am I call her outside of her name? No. Am I gonna disrespect her to her face and mistreat her? No. But sometimes you just don't see it for somebody, right? So you're indifferent, and that's what Rosalie was. She was entirely indifferent to Bella. So when it came to having to potentially die for this girl that she is one, envious of, and doesn't see it for, yeah, Rose had a bit of a tood. She had a bit of a tood. Because her brother, that isn't even nice to her, wants her to put her life and all of their family's life on the line for this human girl. Y'all don't see that? Y'all don't see how this dude who's not even nice to me, who pays me dust, who doesn't give a damn about me, wants me to put my life on the actual line, and wants my husband to put his life on the actual line for this girl. And you not even nice to me? Rosalie was not wrong. She wasn't wrong. She wasn't. Because our whole family now has to fight this battle of newborns and the Volturi and stuff over this human girl that you could not leave alone. You just couldn't leave her alone. And I get it. Edward loves Bella and Bella loves Edward and they want to be together. Fine, we'll get to that. But him acting like he cannot for the life of him understand why Rose is not like super jazzed about the whole situation. Is just it's again his 17-year-old mentality. Because if these people were able to think and reason what their actual age is, Twilight would be a completely different story. It would be a completely different story. It would have made sense because people would have made decisions that made sense. But no, this is a bunch of immortal teenagers acting very teenagerly. And you know, back then, when I was reading it, I was the same age as them. So I got it. I was like, this makes perfect sense. Oh my God. Now, at my big auntie age of 30, I'm just like,
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
You weird, buddy. You're weird.
So I just really want people to put some respect on Rosalie Hale's name, because the things that she went through prior to her vampire life and then entering her vampire life, just immediately Edward on this stank energy, and then they just go through life in that manner. Now, okay, we'll back up again. We'll back up again, because I've seen this argument a lot where they were like, Rose said that this isn't the life that she would have chosen, and that she kind of resents Carlisle for doing this to her. And you know what? Valid. I guess so many people are like, oh my gosh, she should be thankful to Carlisle. But no, like, if he would have asked her, she would have said no. Like, leave me be to meet my demise here. That's how that probably would have went. But she, again, all of her choices are getting taken from her. So when people were like, well, when she found Emmett dying from getting mauled from a bear, and she ran all the way to Carlisle asking him to save him and turn him into a vampire, isn't she then taking his choice too? Valid. She did. She did. And so why did she do that? Apparently because when she saw him, he reminded her of her best friend's curly-haired baby boy. And then she was like, I have to save him. I love him because he reminds me of this child. Again, Stephanie, we'll get there. We will get there. But yeah, it is another instance of her then taking the choice from somebody else to join a life that she wouldn't have chosen for herself. So I get that criticism, and there's that I don't have anything for that one. That is her being a hypocrite. But again, she's 18. So it made a lot of sense to her at that point. Because when you think about, let's think about when you were 18 years old. You know, there's a lot of things that we made choices for that, you know, at our ages now, we were like, might have did some things differently. And I think that's probably the case for Rose. But she, at this point, I guess she just, in a selfish moment, she wanted what she wanted. Her life was taken from her. She entered into this new life that she never asked for. Her brother is mean as shit to her at any turn that he gets. She's lonely. And so she sees someone that she's like, I think if I had this person in my life, I could be okay and I could accept what this is going forward. That's the only thing that I can think of. We didn't even get to the best part about Rose, how she, after she turned, she went and found each of the people that hurt her, so all of his friends, and then saved her fiance for last. And she got him up out of here. She sure did. And she said that she was a little bit more theatrical back then. But I love that. I love that. I love that for you, Rose. I love that. Retribution. Get your revenge. And she said that she was very careful to not spill any of their blood because she didn't want to be tempted to drink it because she didn't want any parts of them in her body. And girl, to you, yes ma'am. Yes ma'am. I get it. And I am overjoyed that Stephanie included that part for her at the very least, bare minimum, you know. And she's also one of the only ones in the group that hasn't ever drank human blood before. So it's really interesting, really, that Edward likes to be like, oh my gosh, Bella, you have the most self-control in a vampire that I've ever seen. Like, you're the most controlled of all of us. As if Rosalie isn't right there. You know, went on a spree to get those people up out of here and didn't spill any of their blood so that she wouldn't be tempted, and then hasn't ever had any while Edward was bleeding in the while Emmett was bleeding in the forest, and she carried him and ran like 100 miles or whatever back to the house so that Carlisle could try to save him, and she didn't. Edward, quit playing with my girl. Quit playing with my girl. Rosalie Hale was not wrong. Okay, she was just misunderstood, and we were given her perspective through somebody that hated her. Okay, and it wasn't fair because she was misrepresented, and that's not who she was. She's got a lot going on. She's got a lot going on. She can absolutely use therapy several times a week. You know, they don't sleep, so she could even stay in there for quite some time. Because she also has a lot to unpack. And if they were to do a continuation, I would wonder if she would like start to tolerate Bella a little bit more. Like, they probably wouldn't be like good Judys, you know, they wouldn't be like girlfriends, but she'd probably be like, okay, well, she's here now. And then, you know, they have Rasputin. So, you know, she's like, for all intents and purposes, she is that girl's mother. Because Bella, we'll get there. But you know, I need y'all to quit playing with Rose. I do. She was not wrong. She was completely misrepresented. And people always want to say that she's just this mean girl, that she's just this bitch, and that she was just jealous and stuff. And it's deeper than that. There's a lot more nuance here that people just aren't trying to give her. They're not trying to give her the understanding that is written out in the text there, but people just want to see it through Edward and Bella's lens. And that's just not fair. And I won't stand for it. I won't. Rosalie was not wrong. And that is why she is my favorite character in Twilight and the best character of the series. Fight your mother. Well, that's going to do it for this episode for The Thing About Rosalie and in our Twilight deep dive. I hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope that I've given you a different perspective so that when you go back and consider these books and these movies, when you think about her character, you'll see the way that she was done dirt. And I hope that you can see Queen Rosalie through a different lens now. Alright, I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.